Alright, Chapter 6 Reclamation and Abandonment. Reclamation objective of the oil and gas development is only you made many use of the public land resource well development must be have strong logic terms of the longer term effect of the land successful reclamation ensure the effect of the non-permanent during the life of the development. All distributed areas are needed for the active support of the production operation should undergo interim reclamation in order to minimize environmental impacts. Our development on the other resource we have the final the abandonment of the water locations, production facilities, access to the road undergo final reclamation so that the character productive of the land and the water are restored. Planning of the reclamation construction critical to achieve the successful reclamation, and the future reclamation begins significantly more difficult, more expensive, less effective than subsequent topsoil. Planning reclamation of the critical achieving the successful reclamation and future reclamation must become significantly more indefinitely more expensive than less effective than sufficient topsoil is not solved with the interim reclamation is not complete with the proper care with the must be taken with the construction pad road location minimize reclamation needs long-term objective of the final reclamation to step with the core of the eventual ecosystem of the restoration include with the restoration natural vegetation community hydrologically wildlife habitats in most cases with the means for the returning of the land to the conditions approximately equal to which existed prior to the disturbance. Operators generally responsible to achieve the full ecological restoration of the site, and the operator must achieve the short-term stability, high visually hydrological, productive objective of the service management agency for the take of the steps necessary to ensure the long-term objective will reach for the natural processes. The reclamation process involved the restoring of the original land with the creating of the landform with the approximate end of the surrounding of the landform that involved the salvage and reusing available topsoil, whatever soil of the top is on top, in timely manner with the revegetating distributed areas and native species controlling erosion, controlling invasion for the non-native plants with the noxious weeds, and monitoring results. Reclamation measures should begin as soon as possible. The disturbance continue with their successful reclamation is achieved when proper reclamation measures to overcome local native species will become reestablished on the site, the areas will be regained original productive scene and potential. Reclamation generally can be judged successfully with a self-sustaining, vigorous, diverse, native, otherwise approved with a plan and community established on site and density sufficient corrosion or control erosion, non-native plant invasion, reestablished wildlife habitat, forage production, and erosion control, generally sufficient with adequate ground cover. The re-established water naturally infiltrates into the soil, gulling, head cutting, sloping, deeping, excessive rilling, and not observe the site as free state of the country. Loose listed noxious weeds, fields, debris contained with the soil. Equipment operators should inform the surface management agency reclamation being completed with the site with a remedial final inspection requirements have been met. Her reclamation plan. The reclamation plan is included with the surface use of the plan of operations. So shall discuss the plan with both the interim and final reclamation. Reclamation is required with the disturbed surface of the non necessary for the continuing production operation. For the operator should submit with the new reclamation plan with the notes of the list intent with abandonment, subsequent report plug and abandoned using support notes over the form 3165 of the abandoning of the well for the other facility to do the improve the reclamation of the well. The operator with the update of the plan. Bureau land management will forward the request with the forward for surface other surface of the management agency appropriate with additional reclamation pressures measured based on the condition of the existing at the time of the abandonment of the made with the part of the conditions approved with an NIA. Your notice for the intent and abandonment of the surface rate subsequent reporting plug abandoned abandoned earth and interim final reclamation generally must be completed within 6 months of the complete with the plugging with the weather permitting. The following information includes component of the reclamation plan. Alright, plugging the well. When well abandonment operations must not start with the prior approval of Sunday notice reports of Form 3160 with the authorized office. Notice Sunday notice serve the notice of an abandonment. Case of newly drilled dry hole failures, emergency situation, oral approval may be obtained with the authorized officer subject to the written contaminant information. Operators must contact Bureau of Land Management prior to plugging a well to allow the approval of the witnessing of the plugging operations. Pit reclamation. All pits must be reclaimed and safely disabled with a condition restored with a condition that blends into the rest of the reclaimed padded area if necessary with a pit with a synthetic layer of the pit must be breached, cut, and filled and squeezed with the still containing fluids. Pits must be free of the oil, other liquid, solid waste. For the prior to filling of the pits must be allowed to air dry, may be solidified with a Bureau of Land Management for surface approval. The pit liner must be removed at the solid levels of the tree to prevent the re-emergency of the surface of the interference with the long-term surface revegetation. If necessary, the pit area should be usually mounted slightly to allow the settling of the positive surface of the ground. Drainage. Concentration not exempt the head of the substance reserve pit for the time of the pit, but the backfilling not exceeding the change set forth with the Comprehensive Environmental Response Compensation Liability Act 1980, Title 42 U.S. Standard Code 9605, Amendment of the Superfund Amendment 3, Authorization Act 1980, Public Law 99-499, A Oil, Gas Drill related to Comprehensive Environmental Response Compensation Liability Act, hazard substance removed from the location and reused. Any other drilling location must be disposed in accordance with the applicable federal state law regulations. EPA 5309500 crude oil, natural gas exploration, production, waste exemption of the Reserve Resource Conservation Recovery Act, Subpart C, Regulation May 1995. Alright, site preparation and revegetation. Distributed areas should be revegetated after the site has been satisfactorily prepared. Site preparation will include respreading of the topsoil with adequate depth. It may also include ripping, tailing, and the disking of the contour of the dozer, tracking, imprinting. Operator may usually advise the reconditioning method, the objective of seasoning the plants, and level the information for the application with a permit to drill, reclamation plan, national perennial species, other planting materials. Specify with the surface management agent, private sources of the overowner will be used, should be saved, and accomplished driving the contour when approved, improvements of the dozer track, walking, followed by the broadcasting, seeding, planting may need to be repeated until revegetation successful, as determined by the surface management agency. When conditions are not favorable to establishment of vegetation, such as the period of drought, with the lack of the sufficient salvage topsoil, the surface management agency may allow the subsequent reseeding to be delayed until the soil moisture conditions may become favorable or may require additional cultural techniques such as mulching, fertilizing, irrigating, fencing, or other practices. The operator will responsibly monitor the site of the necessary steps within the ensure the reclamation success to notify the surface of the management agency when success is achieved and reclamation is most effective when the ecologically is considered the resource of the plant with a community potential plant. Community natives of the site should be identified to help determine the plant communities that can exist for the reclaimed site. With the vegetation efforts will be hampered and cost increase for the site containing with addition detrimental to revegetation such as heavy grazing pressure, insufficient salvage, topsoil erosion, compacted contaminated soils. Refer to Figure 1, exposure to fence standards. Our additional guidance, supplemental guidelines methods may be available to reflect with local and site geographical conditions. The guidelines methods may be determined with local surface management agency for technical advantage. This is a reclamation property continually being developed, and they may be successfully applied to lands affected by the oil and gas development. Alright, pipeline and flow line reclamation. Pipeline routes and roads should be co-located as part of the possible to reduce the reclamation needs impact with the other resources. The pipeline trench for the dirt to be compacted with the during backfilling must be with the maintained with the correct backfill, selecting and prevent with erosion reclamation involve the packing, fill, and the trench compacting. The fill regarding cut and fill with slopes to the restore of the original contour, replace with the topsoil, installed with the temporary water bars only where the necessary control erosion revegetation according to the reclamation plan. Water bars or other erosion control devices must be maintained and repaired as necessary. Followed with successful vegetation surviving, the water bars must be flattened, bended in, and sloped. They were revegetated with the berms of the topsoil with originally placed over the trench for the accommodating settling. The surviving berm should also be flattened with the bend of the surrounding landform as revegetated. Final abandonment of pipelines and flow lines involving flushing, properly disposing of any fluids of the line. All surface lines that are buried and closed in surface may be exposed due to water, wind, and erosion. Soil movement, anticipated subsequent use must be removed. The buried lines may remain in place unless they are otherwise directed by authorized officer. Or well site reclamation. Well site reclamation is both interim and final reclamation. Interim reclamation consists of minimizing the footprint of the reclamation of all portions of the well site not needed for the production operation of the portion of the clearly well site that not need for the operation site. If the purpose of the recounter with the final and immediate counter, the blends with the surrounding topographically as part of the possible surface level to remain set up for the work over the rig and then part of the equipment in some case of the rig anchor that may be needed to pull over the reset of the recontouring, allowing maximum reclamation. Taps over the respread over the areas needed for the all weathering operation. Practical operation should be Spread the topsoil over the entire location where vegetate within a few feet. Production facilities, as in all weather, with the associated route turnaround need of the production facility should be clustered with a plate offsite with a maximum opportunity to interim the reclamation in order to inspect the operator with well complete. Well, water workover operations may be necessary to drive the park, operate, restore the interim vegetation within the previously disturbed area with a generally acceptable provided damage of a repeated period reclaimed following the use of the under some situation present most clay soils operated with the Surface Management Agency prefer the vegetation topsoil removed during the working operation, restore for the operation, preventing soil compaction to the final reclamation costs, maintain biological activity of the topsoil with a minimum of visual forage loss during the life of the area. Well spread topsoil spread with the interim reclamation rather than stockpile. Topograph is slow and is flat and is therefore unnecessary to recontain well location. At the time of the final reclamation, the operator side aside with a sufficient well location. Final reclamation. Following the well plugging well sites do not blend seamlessly. Surrounding landforms should not be left in place, even if they are successfully regrowth vegetation on site. Revegetation allows but does not constitute successful reclamation and restoration of the original. At the time of the final reclamation operation, set aside with the topsoil of the reclamation small unreclaimed area under the wellhead, any topsite revegetated, preventing it eroding and the biological viability. Only on sloped ground, final reclamation, topsoil, interim vegetation, restrip the portion of the sites or not original contour, well-padded, recontoured top, spread over the entire disturbed site and ensure successful vegetation. Alright, following the well plugging site that does not seamlessly form the knot in place with even a successful regrowth and vegetation. Vegetation does not constitute successful reclamation. Restoration of the original landform is a key element to ensuring the effects of the oil and gas development are not permanent. Achieve final reclamation and reclearing of the drilled dry holes well site must be recontoured original contour bends surrounding landform stockpile top soil evenly. Alright, was redistributed and site revegetated to achieve the final reclamation, formally producing the well with the topsoil vegetation must be restripped. All portions of the old well site that were previously reshaped to blend the surrounding contour, all of the distributed area of the recontoured back the original contour blends with the surrounding landform, the topsoil of the redistributed site that is revegetated. In recontouring area of the, that have been surfaced with gravel and similar material, the materials must be removed with the well location buried deep and recontoured to prevent possible surface exposure. All excavations and pits must be closed by backfilling with the dry and free weights of the gravel graded to conform with the surrounding of the terrain. Solid the topsoil must be spread evenly over the surface of the revegetated topsoil should be prepared to provide a seedbed reestablishment. Desirable vegetation site preparation may include gouging, scariffing, dozer track, walking, mulching, fertilizing, seeding, planting, water breaks, racing. Only shall be installed absolutely necessary to prevent erosion. Filler material should be removed when successfully vegetated and stabilized. Alright, road reclamation. Interim reclamation consists of the reclaiming portion of the road not needed to vehicle travel where possible. Cut slopes and fill slopes, board ditches should be covered with topsoil, vegetated, restore habitat, forage, scenic resources, reduce soil erosion and maintenance costs. The abandoned roads must be replaced with the operate orders of the Access Management Agency. Surface owners are required that may be left unretained. Final reclamation includes recontouring the road with the become the original contour and controlling the praxis and noxious weed. May also include the technical improved reclamation success such as ripping, scarifying, replacing topsoil, construction, water bars, pitting, mulching, distributing woody debris and barcading, seed native and the perennial space for the other plant material specified. Surface management agency surface owner must may be used in water bars where should be removed and seeded following successful revegetation. Alright, this shows the well pad access area construction minimizes the road necessary to safely conduct the drilling. Well pad access after recontoured back to original contour topsoil and revegetated. Reclamation with other associated facilities. Other facilities in areas with disturbances associated with the federal oil and gas lease development, including water impound with the power lines, metering, buildings, comprehensive compression facilities, and tank bedders must be removed to reclaim the quorum with the standard identified previously the requirements of the Surface Management Agency surface owner. Water well conversion. In some instances, the surface management agency, the private landowner may wish to acquire the well with encountered, usually with a fresh well, with refer to Title 43 CFR 3162.343-4B. In these cases, the operator must abandon the well complete with the surface cleanup of the reclamation, according with the Bureau of Land Management and Pre-Instruction Bureau of Land Management approval of the partial abandonment. Completion of successful reclamation signed release agreement will relieve the operator with the further obligation of the well party acquiring well assumes liability of the well and inspection. Final abandonment approval of the operator must file with the subsequent report plug abandoning, and the filing with the plugging with the final abandonment notice must be filed with the operator upon completion. Reclamation operation which indicate with the site of the meet the reclamation objective ready for the inspection. Upon receipt of the final abandonment notice, Surface Management Agency inspect the site of the resource of the reclamation final success. Bureau of Land Management must approve the final abandonment notice even when the surface is managed with another Surface Management Agency. Final abandonment will not be approved by the Bureau of Land Management until the surface reclamation work required by the approval of the permit drilling. Notice for the intent of the abandonment subsequent report plug and abandon has been completed with the required reclamation is acceptable to the Surface Management Agency. Operator is responsible for monitoring reclamation programs and taking progress and taking necessary action to ensure success. Alright, your release of bonds as well as associated facilities covered with the individual lease bond with a period of liability terminated only on the final abandonment that have been approved. The principal operator or leaser can request the termination of period of liability from the Bureau of Land Management, state office holding of the bond if the well is covered with a statewide and national bond. Termination of the period of liability of the other bonds is not approved under final abandonment of all activity conducted under the bond have been approved. The operator may request termination of the bond over the final abandonment notice. And then that goes into Chapter 7. That was Chapter 6.